Andry Rabemananjara, who's a public policy analyst in Antananarivo. Andry, thank you so much for your time. Have the young protesters in Madagascar used other similar movements around the world as their inspiration?
Yeah, it's a trend that is using the same protest based on the same tool, which is digital, and using the same fundamentals request to a better governance, like Madagascar case, which is water and electricity. But it's coming from a same generational segment, which is the Jay-Z.
Yeah, you mentioned...
And you can see in the picture...
Sorry, Andry, you mentioned the digital mobilization. Are people in Madagascar looking at social media and seeing how other countries take care of their citizens and saying that we want the same?
Yes, social media for that generation is like a common key. And you could have the phenomenon of the Nepo babies in Nepal. So it's the same generation talking to the same generation. There's something in common, whether they're in Nepal, Philippines, Madagascar. They are sitting on that common possibility to make changes from their tool, which is social media.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
From their call to action.
You mentioned Nepo babies.
I mean, social media... Yes.
Okay, sorry, we're talking over each other here, Andry. You mentioned Nepo babies. A lot of these youth-led movements, they're rebelling against a system of privilege that they say has been in place in their country for many, many years. Do you feel that there's something different in these current protests taking place across the world compared to any other sort of protests that may be happening? And you could name so many of those.
It gathers a number of complaints, starting from access to water and electricity, fundamentals. And this young generation is watching other young with privileges as they strive to have the fundamental. And this is where the call to action is emerging. They say it cannot be possible for us as students not to have our studies, not to have access to water, when we see these privileged people that are traveling, having a great life and doing a hype elite unreasonable privileged life.
Andry, is there a coup happening?
As we majority.
Is there a coup happening in your country? Has the military said that it's now in charge?
Okay, regarding the constitution, as long as there is no in power, you cannot spell there's a coup. And the president is still in power. Up to now, at the time I'm talking, the president is in power. And the executive government that he has dissolved is probably going to be a union government. Up to now, there is no government that has been designated. So the term of coup is very limited because the president is still in power. And in French, we have a directoire. The directoire would have been extra constitutional, and that would be a coup. Up to the time that we're talking, there's no coup attempt.
Andry, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.